365 days in a row. Ah, stuffy nose. But yeah, wow. So I made a whole year of daily vlogs so far. This marks the end of year one. Tomorrow will mark the end or mark the beginning of year number 2. Metallica. But anyway, this is the special Frantic Fridays video. I'm glad it landed on today, right? Because there's like so much I want to talk about from this past year that I couldn't do in a regular vlog. So here we go. Let's do this. Stupid. So, yeah. So it started off with me going to Saskatchewan and back, right? And then led into what I'm doing now, which is trying to keep my blood sugars down and try and beat this whole diabetes thing, right? Either get rid of it or make it where I can live comfortably with it. And so far, it's been a roller coaster of struggling and all that other stuff. But I think I've come up with a plan. You know, I mean, that doctor that I saw yesterday was just no good. No good at all. I mean, he said that diabetes has nothing to do with food, which is a total crock. Like, seriously, it has everything to do with what you eat, right? If you load yourself full of sugars, of course your blood sugars are going to go up. If you don't, right, and you eat healthy, blood sugars will go down to normal. I just need to learn self-control and stop eating so much to do that, right? You know what? I am there. Diabetes has nothing to do with food. 7 diabetes myths separating fact from fiction. See a full list. Okay. So let's see here. Does it say anything about that? Myth number 1, people with diabetes shouldn't eat any foods that contain carbohydrates. Fact, one of the cornerstones of diabetes management is a balanced nutritional plan. This means a mixture of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Diabetes Canada Clinical Practice Guidelines recommend that 45% to 60% of a person's daily food intake should be composed of carbohydrate-containing foods. There you go, right? So the carbs are good, according to this. But you got to have healthy carbohydrates. Legumes, brown rice, and whole grain breads and pastas more often. Eat fewer refined and processed carb-containing foods. White bread, white pasta, or white rice. Yeah. Myth number 2, people with diabetes shouldn't eat any foods that contain sugar. You shouldn't cut sugar out of your diet if you have diabetes. Sugar is found naturally in fruit, vegetables, and dairy foods. So it's important not to eliminate these healthy foods from your nutrition plan. However, be aware of added sugars that lurk in such foods as baked goods and prepared sauces and ready-made meals. These types of foods should be enjoyed only occasionally and in small portions. Right. diabetes only affects fat people. That's not true. I mean, look at me. I'm like super skinny and I've got it. Type 1 diabetes has nothing to do with the person's weight. It's an autoimmune disease in which a person's pancreas stops producing insulin. Number of risk factors for type 2 and obesity is only one of them. Other risk factors for type 2 diabetes include having a family history of the disease. Yes, my father and his mother had it, as far as I know. Being 40 years of age or older and being of Aboriginal, African, Asian, Hispanic, or South Asian descent. Really? Wow, well, I'm neither. I'm none of those, but yeah. It's estimated that about 20% of people with type 2 diabetes are of a normal weight or are underweight. So I'm part of that 20%. Huh. Learn what type of sugar is best for blood sugar. Yeah, I'll look into that. Myth number 4. Yeah, whatever. People with diabetes should only eat diabetic foods. Fact. It's completely untrue that people with diabetes should eat a special diet. People with diabetes can follow the same meal plan as those who don't have the disease. However, portion control is very important. A little research into what you're eating and practicing self-control will allow you to enjoy your favorite foods regardless of your diabetes. Right there. Exactly. Right? So when I go to the mall and I have that coffee, that's my indulgence for the day. Right? Like I enjoy Tim Hortons coffee. So having one coffee a day isn't going to hurt. Myth number 5. Eating too much sugar causes diabetes. Fact. In type 1 diabetes, the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas are destroyed by the immune system. No amount of sugar consumption could ever cause type 1 diabetes. In type 2 diabetes, the answer isn't as simple. While sugar does not cause type 2 diabetes, being overweight or obese is a risk factor for the disease. People gain weight when they consume more calories than they need, and sugary foods and drinks contain a lot of calories. Thus, if you are gaining weight from eating too much sugar, then you are increasing your risk of getting type 2 diabetes. However, it is very unlikely that this is the only reason you would develop the disease. Exactly. Myth number 6. People with diabetes will go blind and lose their legs. You know, that's another thing that doctor went and said. You know, it's like, well, if you keep going the way you are, we're going to have to amputate your legs. No, you're not. No, I'm not going to let that happen. So the fact is, it's true that the complications of diabetes include retinopathy, eye disease, which can lead to blindness and neuropathy, numbness, pain, and tingling in the legs and feet. I've got that. Which can lead to amputation. However, people with diabetes who manage the condition by controlling their blood pressure, blood sugar, and weight greatly increase their chance of remaining free of complications. Blindness and amputation are definitely preventable, particularly if people pay attention to their disease and see their diabetes healthcare team for regular checkups. Exactly, right? If you can control it, or if I can control it, then I'm not going to get anything amputated. I'm going to make sure of that. Myth number 7. Yeah, there's only 7 of them. Type 2 diabetes is a very mild form of the disease. Fact. No form of diabetes is mild. I know that. Whether it's type 1 or type 2. Type 2 diabetes is a progressive disease, and if it is poorly managed, it can lead to serious complications such as heart disease. I was born with a heart disease. I know all about that. And kidney disease. Good control of diabetes can substantially decrease the risk of complications, but this doesn't mean the disease itself is not serious. Exactly. Don't take it lightly. And I'm trying not to. I'm trying to watch what I eat and watch what I do and get lots of exercise and everything. And like I've been saying, I should have started this like way, way, way sooner. Like as soon as I moved in here a year ago, I should have been doing those mall walks and everything and keeping everything under control. Because this is crazy. But I'm going to start today, but definitely starting tomorrow. I'm going to be, doing the exercise, trying to have only one meal a day, just stay away from the habits that are causing all of this. And hopefully I can get it under control. And that's the big thing that I need to do. So what type of sugar is best for blood sugar? Right, and then there's like all this other stuff here. There's no advantage to people with diabetes in choosing one type of sugar over another. One common belief is that brown sugar is more nutritious than white. Brown sugar is typically white sugar with molasses added to the sugar crystals. All sugars, whether white sugar, brown sugar, honey, maple syrup, or molasses, provide calories and no other important nutrients. They are absorbed the same way in the body and they all provide the same amount of calories, 4 calories per gram. The key is to focus on the amount of sugar eaten. Also, it's important to remember that foods that are high in sugar are often also high in fat and calories. This can cause unwanted weight gain and may contribute to other concerns such as cholesterol levels. Exactly. Right, and then sugar is known by another name. Sugar impacts people differently. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to read through that later. But yeah. So that is super important to getting everything under control, right? So basically all I have to do is stick to my plan and everything should be resolved and under control and blah blah blah, right? Like 2 weeks ago, right? Not last weekend, but the weekend before. I didn't eat all day on Saturday. And then Sunday, my blood sugars were down to normal. Monday morning, I checked my weight and I was only 118 pounds. Right? And then Tuesday came and I went right back to the crap that I was doing before that. And then everything just went all wonky and just, yeah. Now my legs are all puffed out again and I got to start the process all over again and everything. And that's what I'm determined to do. I got a free donut with the roll-up cup thing. So I had that. Got an apple fritter. Apples are healthy, so why not? Still loaded with sugar and everything, but it's just one of those little treats that I wouldn't normally get, right? So if it's just a once in a while thing, that's fine. But as for every day, right? Or as long as I can afford it anyway, I get that one coffee and then wait until like 6:30 at night, make something to eat, have that, there you go. Right? And I've learned that if I don't eat after 7:30 and then I take my pills at 9, by 11 p.m., my blood sugars go down to like pretty much almost normal. And then in the morning, they're even lower. And I just have to maintain that. And if I can maintain that, then everything's fine. But in my head, what happens, right? Like, why my blood sugars go back up is because it's like, oh, my blood sugars are down to normal, so I can have this and this and this. Well, no, I can't, because that's not maintaining the normal blood sugar thing, right? That's just spiking the blood sugar back up. And I need to learn self-control in that area and stick to my plan every single day, not just, oh, look, my blood sugars are normal, I can go back to, no, I can't go back to anything. I got to stick to my plan and keep the blood sugars down. And I just need to train my brain and do that. Because if I can do that, then I can be somewhat back to normal, right? My legs won't be all puffed out all the time, and everything will be fine. So, yeah, that's all I need to do, pretty much. And if I can do that, then everything will be fine. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on in year number 2 of my daily vlogs. Because just because, right? I don't know. I'm trying to get everything back to normal. I am so trying to get back to normal. Whoa. Clicked on something. I should wait until I'm done this. Anyway, yeah, there's something wrong with my Epic Games launcher. I want to play Fortnite, but I can't because it's just not opening. So I got to uninstall, reinstall, and then I can play the game. So I'm going to do that once I'm done this, which is pretty much now. Yeah. I don't want another repeat of yesterday. Holy crap. 2.5 hour podcast. Took forever to upload and process. It was still processing at midnight, so I just shut everything down, went onto Rumble, and it was there. So it's all good and everything, and it's in the description box if you want to watch it. But yeah, just like yeah, and then I needed a nap. Fell asleep, woke up around 5 a.m., went back to sleep until about 9. tested my blood. It was like 11 something. Took my pills, went for my walk, stopped, had a coffee, sat with my friends for a bit, and then came back here, and here I am. So yeah, I don't see. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep this short, but I wanted to go through all that diabetes stuff because that's what I'm dealing with right now. Right. So there you go. And I am giving myself a whole year. Right. Year number 2. But yeah. But a week. 1 week. And hopefully things will be down, to normal. If I stick to this plan. That's all I got to do is concentrate and stick to the plan. I need focus. I need support. Right? So, support from you. Leave positive comments. Like, you can do it, buddy. Stuff like that. Because that's what I need. I need positive reinforcement and people telling me that I can do this. I can actually get everything where it's normal. I need to shave. I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, and that's another thing too. I got the Fixident. Hopefully. I mean, everybody I talk to says that the Fixident is way better than anything else. Right? And I got the extra strength stuff. So we'll see tomorrow if they come loose or not when I drink my coffee. Because that's the biggest problem that I had with the Polydent. Is that, or Polygrip. Yeah. The Polygrip was, came loose when I drank coffee because I guess, I don't know, not meant for that or whatever. But anyway, people I know that wear dentures say that that Fixident is way better. So I got that, and I got a 2-pack. So hopefully it'll work because it would just be a waste of money if it doesn't. So we'll see about that tomorrow. Hopefully I can keep things on track, back to normal, and blah, blah, blah. Get everything all good and dandy and blah, blah, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Whatever. I'm just repeating myself and blabbering on about nothing. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see how things are going.